Welcome back to another Anime Kingdom review. As you see by title below, yes, this is on episode 2 of Rewrite, and honestly, I definitely enjoyed this episode. It was actually really good for, like, in my opinion at least, and, you know, as an anime watcher only, I really enjoyed it. Maybe if you read the visual novel, maybe you think differently and everything, and I just want you to know that I'm coming from an anime watcher only perspective. But actually, I don't think I really will have to worry about that at all, considering when I looked on the My Anime List forums and everything, a lot of people were actually saying, oh, this is really good. They're actually doing a good job at adapting Moon and everything, and looks like they stepped up their game and everything. And it really does seem like that. Maybe that the first season was like that because, they had to do all of that kind of stuff, push it into a 12 or 13 episode season. It makes sense why it was rushed. That was one reason I really hated and wish they could have expanded more and have that as a 24 episode season before they get into Moon and Terra Roots. But overall, even though the first season, in my opinion, was definitely all over the place, in my opinion, and just like literally rushed, I still thought it was okay. I didn't think it was horrible. I understood why a lot of visual novel, readers really thought it was bad, and the reasons behind that, I could see that. But I still thought it was like okay. It wasn't like the most horrible thing in the world. I did get some things, though it did end in a way I didn't really care for. So far, I know it's just been 2 episodes, and it's a little too early to start saying this is gonna be the best season, the best anime of this season kind of thing, But so far, I have really enjoyed these first 2 episodes. The first episode, absolutely loved. And the second episode, it had so many things in it that it really was enjoyable. Which is kind of like, at first, when you see the whole first half, it was kind of like I saw a lot of people were saying, it was like an acid trip pretty much. Because yeah, it was just a whole, like an acid trip for Kotarou going on, learning about the knowledge, like all this knowledge, the theory of life, love, and all this kind of stuff. And it was pretty damn trippy. And you think with all that information, especially for an anime watcher only, it would push them away. But for me, I don't know if it's for all the other anime watchers only, it was a little confusing at first, but it was actually pretty interesting. I was actually getting really absorbed into what was going on with all of that kind of stuff. And I was really, like, literally, this episode did a really good job for even an anime watcher only in pulling me in to what was going on. It was really interesting, honestly. And like the whole thing with the tree and everything, and Kagari and what she's been doing, obviously this, all along since the very beginning about, Aurora, and then the tree, the branches diverging once human civilization started and everything, and how, it seems at first with, if you're not really looking, and how, Kotarou thinks at first as well, is that she's kind of like, each of these branches are getting destroyed, and she's actually just like destroying life. That's not what's going on. She's actually trying to protect the life, because once a certain point, it reaches a certain point, the resources and everything is gone. It's pretty much, this is the planet's defense system. She's the key. She's the one trying to save, life itself, pretty much. And it's pretty damn interesting to see all that go down. It was interesting to see, Kotarou, pushing because he wants to help Kagari more, going past pretty much human limits almost, going to the very end of where you can go until you can't go any farther because you're human, pulled back, cute little, like that moment with him on her lap, like the lap pillow, and then him holding her face and everything. It was super cute. And that was what's happened in this episode too, is we finally got some emotions from Kagari, and it was so adorable seeing those emotions. I'm guessing that's because of what happened in the first season. We see in that one point, I'm pretty sure that's where it ends, is when one of the branches disappeared, she teared up, and teardrops fell on that area. And that was exactly what happened, what it showed at the end of the first season. So I'm guessing everything before that was, all these other kind of things. But right there, in that point where she teared up and cried and everything, that was where the first season goes to the second season. Anything before that is actually just other stuff. And it's pretty interesting to learn that Kotarou has been, like, with her throughout all of this. he's pretty much the person before. I'm kind of confused on this part, so any visual novel readers, if you want to clarify and explain a little bit without spoiling anything, explaining too much at least, is like it was talking about at the very end that the reason why he had a hard time fighting the monsters at first is that he was actually the one that was supposed to kill Kagari. Whenever there is her, he is there as well, and that's why each time he tries to end up changing something else, and a lot of those times it ends up killing her. So this time, finally, along the way, now that he has, I guess, like he said, Kashima Sakura, to which I don't know how the hell she is, not only destroying life in the branch worlds and everything, but she's able to send monsters into this world. This world is like the world where it controls everything. So it's pretty crazy how that is working out. I'm not too sure how she's doing that, but that's pretty crazy to, learn that. But it's pretty crazy that there's actually like this huge history that he's actually been throughout everything from the very beginning. Because you can tell, because he touches the areas at the very beginning where the branches start to diverge and everything. And you see each and one, every one of his different lives, and even comes to the point where he like accidentally stupidly gets like boom, slams his hand, and just too much information comes in, and he like full blown says, "Tell me the meaning of life," and yeah, that's too much, dude, and he just goes crazy, and Kagari has to kill him. Of course, he comes back to life again. So it's really interesting to see that concept. I'm still kind of confused on how the concept of both Kagari and him are there, and why he keeps being revived. Like, is he like an instrumental role just like the key? And obviously, at first he was there to kill her, but now he's changing everything because of Sakura. It's pretty interesting to be learning all of this kind of stuff. Like, this episode definitely had a lot of information, to be honest, and a lot of times that will push people away, especially people who aren't as, they're not as into the series as, a lot of you visual novel readers are. And anime watcher only may see this and be like, oh, too much. I don't really care for this. It's a turn-off kind of thing. For me, though, at least, or I'm thinking that so far they're doing a really good job, is that it's really interesting. It's really pulling you in instead of pushing you out. And that's what I have enjoyed so far about this second episode. A lot of that stuff was pretty damn interesting. And then one thing I always love about this series so far is the soundtrack. And I'm not too sure if, I remember in the first season there was times where they brought in a song and you guys were like, whoa, they put it in here, or why did they put this here and stuff. But for me, as an anime watcher only, so far I've really enjoyed and really loved when these soundtracks the songs are shown, because it really changes the atmosphere, and I really, really, really enjoyed the part with the dance. We seen that in the opening and everything, the opening song, and then them dancing and everything. And honestly, I didn't expect it to be shown here. It was really nice, him taking her on a date and everything, changing everything, because now that he pretty much is like, I guess, the higher intelligence, obviously, he's able to do stuff like create music out of nowhere, create black silhouettes of people, and like the moon was closer too, I think, or something like that. I'm not too sure, but it was pretty crazy, him just setting all this up, and then the music, and we got vocals for the opening as well, which was literally just beautiful, and then them just dancing, and honestly, it was so nice. I really enjoyed that part. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And then he was about to kiss her and everything too, and then of course, obviously, the damn monsters do appear, and we get more into the story and learn more about, his role in this overall universe in a way, and the threat that's coming. There's a war gonna be happening now, so what is he gonna do? He can't protect Kagari himself, by himself, so he brings the Occult Club has returned. Everyone, I'm not too sure how this works and how he's bringing all of them there, including I think his name's Tenroji, I think, the other guy, and his gang. They're all there to help. It was honestly, when he teared up and everything, I felt the same way. I was like, oh, we get to see all of them together again. It's still kind of confusing for me. Maybe they'll explain more in the next episodes on what's going on, how he's able to bring everyone there, if that's really like, I'm pretty sure that all the different worlds, it's still kind of confusing to me that the Key, Kagari, and Kotarou, the real main ones of themselves, are right there, and the other branches are different possibilities of life and everything, that they're in each one. I'm not too sure who these, you know, Kotori showing up and everything, and all of them showing up at the very end. Like, is this like just bringing them from a certain branch or something? I'm not too sure how that works, but I'm definitely excited to see the next episode. This episode, the soundtrack was awesome. The visuals, the CG was something that everyone was just talking so much crap about in the first season, and I agreed as well. It wasn't that bad in this one. It was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. Everything that was going on in it, and the story so far, the characters being thrown in, just everything literally made this episode, honestly, in my opinion, probably my favorite episode of just this season overall. Like, I'm not talking about just, you know, Rewrite season 2. I'm talking about the whole, you know, winter 2017 season. This is probably my favorite episode that I've watched for any of the other animes so far, and I'm definitely excited to see what's going to be happening in the next one, considering this one was an informational yet, you know, emotional start of everything. I cannot wait to see where everything's going to be, you know, diverging from this point. What's going to happen in the next episode? Is there going to be crazy action, or is there going to be more romance? Is there going to be, you know, more theory kind of talking and stuff? It's definitely something. It's definitely makes me happy, considering how the first season ended, to see how well this second season has started and how well everyone else is enjoying it so far. You know, anime watchers and visual novel readers. That's something that really makes me happy, because it always sucks when you see like someone destroy something that you love so much. And I saw a lot of people, they were very emotional. Like, a lot of people, there was a lot of them that were kind of just plain out, just wanted to talk shit pretty much in the forums and stuff about, you know, Rewrite season 1, and that pretty much pushed me away from looking at the forums and everything. But this season, I'm able to go and check it out, and people are enjoying it. People are liking the way it's adapted. People are liking the way this is going, and it definitely gives me a lot of hope for the rest of the season, even if this is only episode 2, and, you know, we don't want to say anything yet. You know, you never know what may happen, but so far, great start. First episode was really good. Second episode was even better, in my opinion. I can't wait to see if the third episode continues that progression and this season just gets better and better and better. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, anime watchers, how did you feel about this episode? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Any opinions on anything that happened there? Feel free to comment below. And as always, visual novel readers, how did you feel about this episode? Do you feel the same way about as I did? You have any opinions on how this is going? How the season overall will go, considering these first 2 episodes? Of course, no spoiling as usual. Then feel free to comment below. And yeah, that's all I really gotta say, guys. So till next time, see ya.